What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the show. And week 17 is officially in the books. But before we get into that, I just want to take a second to say, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like and a comment down below. And if you can, hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 100 subscribers. But on from there, like I said, man, week 17 is officially over. So up next, we got the playoffs. And, man, I can't wait. But before we get into that, I just want to say this is going to be a quick recap of some of the biggest things out of week 17. Not too many games that were that important. Probably just going to go over all the things that had playoff implications and a couple of big stories that came out at the end of week 17. But, yeah, man, let's not waste no time and get right into it. Up first, we're going to talk about the Packers, who officially clinched the first round bye in the NFC playoff picture. The Bears wasn't able to take care of business, knock them out of that spot. And yeah, the Packers, they came out, they handled business, man. Aaron Rodgers had another big game, pretty much cementing his MVP candidacy. Not candidacy. I'm pretty sure he's going to win MVP. But yeah, went out, had another big game in Chicago, threw 4 touchdowns, and basically made it look easy. That Bears defense that I thought was, coming back alive, man, they really couldn't do anything with them. So, yeah, of course I'm a little salty, but we'll get into that a little later. But yeah, man, I said, big win for the Packers. They took care of business and they officially clinched that first round bye week. Second time in a row, back-to-back seasons going 13-3. So we'll see what goes on in the playoffs. But on from there, another team that wasn't able to take care of business was the Miami Dolphins, who were blown out by the Buffalo Bills, who I think right now is possibly the best team in the league right now. They are for sure the hottest team in the league right now. And they handled business, man. They went there and a game that they didn't even need to win. It wasn't like the Steelers were playing for, the second seed. I think they didn't even play some of their starters. The Bills didn't even really need this game. But, it's a division rival. And they went out there, and played spoilers and, looked pretty damn dominant doing it. Tua didn't have a great game at all. And I'm pretty sure that they would have pulled him for Fitzpatrick had he not been out with the due to the COVID protocols and things like that. But, yeah, Josh Allen, another big game, man. 224 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. I mean, the dude's on fire right now. And he's another one that I think should be in that MVP conversation, even though, like I said, we know for sure Rodgers wrapped that up, But, like I said, Josh Allen has been pretty damn great this season. And I wouldn't want to see the Bills in the playoffs, man. But, yeah, the Packers. The Dolphins weren't able to take care of business, so they are officially eliminated. And if I'm a Dolphins fan, I wouldn't be too upset about this season. I know, your team was right there, could have made the playoffs and had a big turnaround from last season. But I think it's looking pretty bright for them in the future, man, especially, the fact that they have multiple draft picks in the first round. Even one in the top, I want to say the top 5 pick in the first round for a team with 10 wins. That's pretty good, you know what I'm saying? And Brian Flores, who's in my opinion coach of the year, yeah, y'all got some big things to look forward to. But yeah, man, on from there, the Cleveland Browns have officially clinched them a playoff spot. It's the first time they've clinched a playoff berth since 2002. And I know I said Brian Flores is the coach of the year in my opinion, but Kevin Stefanski is also another one that's a pretty big candidate, for coach of the year. The Browns were absolutely, I don't want to say absolutely terrible, but the coaching was horrible last year. And it goes to show you that coaching could go a long way in this league with the type of season that they had. Even considering, losing somebody like Odell and, some other pieces. They played with a lot of injuries on defense throughout the season. And they still, they look legit, So big ups to the Browns, man. I know that fans are excited. And look, man, I don't know how far they're gonna go in the playoffs, but look, it's always, they can get better from here moving forward. So yeah, bro. Shout out to the Browns, man. Finally clinching that playoff spot. On from there, the grown man himself, Derrick Henry, has rushed for 2,000 yards this season and a win that clinched the Titans the AFC South for the first time since 2008, I believe. So yeah, man, dominant performance by Derrick Henry. It's hard to call the best running back in the league because that shit varies, seems like season to season. But if I had to say, go out on a limb and say it's one running back that's for sure the best one in the league is Derrick Henry, man. Like, he's like the running back that I could see winning MVP. Without him, the Titans are, would be in a lot of trouble. The dude is just straight dominant. He's had 3 straight games against Houston and basically just look like some, video game stats, man. The dude is ridiculous. So, shout out to Derrick Henry. I think he's like the 5th player to do that. And second player of the Titans to do that, man. Chris Johnson. A couple years ago, it's been a while now, was also a 2,000-yard rusher. But yeah, man, shout out to the Titans and Derrick Henry. And if he doesn't win MVP, which, I mean, like I said, he won't, at least an offensive player of the year look, But yeah, man, that's pretty much all, because I'm gonna get into about all the games that happened over the past week. That's the biggest things that really happened. Other things that happened would include things like, the Cardinals choking, not being able to pull it together and get in a playoff spot. So that would actually put the Bears, who, even though they got blown out in week 17, they still going to get into the playoffs. Russell Wilson had another big game. I don't say another one because lately the Seahawks have been looking a little, iffy here and there. Russell Wilson had a big game. Tyler Lockett came alive in week 17. And yeah, bro, all in all, it was a pretty boring week. But before we get into some of the other topics, I do want to talk about one last game. Now, the Cowboys and Giants played earlier on Sunday, and whoever won that game would have a chance at the NFC East. All they needed was a Washington loss, and the Giants end up coming out victorious in that game. So, like I said, the last game I want to talk about is between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington football team. Last Sunday night game, primetime television spot. I will say it was not that great of a game. It was actually pretty sloppy. Neither team on offense looked good at all. And reason I really want to talk about this game is because we officially finally have a winner of the NFC East, which is the Washington football team. And I just want to say, I don't want to sound like a hater or nothing. I just want to say, I would have never saw this coming. And it's pretty cool to see, man. Ron Rivera, what he's battled through this season with the cancer recovery and things like that. Alex Smith coming off of that leg injury that we never thought we'll see him play again. It's nice to see. Washington, they earned it. I would say they earned it. They because it starting out this season, that was the last team I thought they were going to be the first ones eliminated, and that defense pretty much carried them, and they looked damn good. The offense, not so much. But that's not what I want to talk about in this game. In the fourth quarter, Doug Peterson decided to pull Jalen Hurts when the game was in reach. I mean, that's only one of the first questionable things that I seen during this game and was like, what the fuck is going on? But when the game was within, I think, a score, I think it might have been 3 or 6 points, he pulled Jalen Hurts and put in Nate Sudfeld. And I just don't get it, and the fact that he went out and said after the game that he actually was trying to win the game. And I'm not going to sit here and say that Jalen Hurts had a great game or anything like that, because he didn't. But all things considered, Jalen Hurts gave them the best opportunity to win that game. It just didn't make sense to me. And I honestly, look, I know fans probably, it's certain, I see a lot of Eagles fans that's like, hey, look, whatever, we made our draft pick better. In my opinion, man, I don't think, you're going to get something that's that franchise changing or franchise altering, moving up 3 picks from the 9th to the 6th spot. I could be wrong though, but man, that just didn't make a lot of sense to me. And I think the reason I don't like it is because you had 2 teams that battled earlier. And look, man, in my opinion, the Giants were pissed. I mean, rightfully so. I don't blame them. But I get where people coming from. They won 6 games. It's only so mad you could be about it. But my thing is, the guys went out there and they played. They balled out, what I'm saying? And just against a division rival, you evaluating a rookie quarterback in a situation where he's behind, you have a chance to win this game and play spoiler to a division rival, and you basically, concede the game to them. Yeah, like, in my opinion, it just doesn't make a lot of sense, I mean, those guys, you could tell, were clearly upset. They went out there and they wanted to win, man. And like, these players do. I know we joke about tanking all the time, man. But like I said, I'm pretty sure players don't give a damn about that draft pick. And they want to go out there and win games, man. And it just feels like they blatantly chose to not win this game. You only down 6 points. And even still, when they were down, not saying neither team were playing great, Alex Smith did everything he could to give them this game. It's like the Eagles played better than Washington overall in this game. Up until the fourth quarter, where Doug Peterson just decided, all right, that's enough. They can have it. So, yeah, man, I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I mean, that sucks. Hopefully, you hate to see stuff like that, especially when that being a primetime game. I can see if this is like a 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock game, people probably wasn't really giving a damn about it. I mean, the only thing, people really cared about was to see if Washington would win or lose. But this is the final primetime game, and that's just not a product you want to put out there on the field, man. It just was pretty, in my opinion, that was kind of embarrassing. But hey, what can you do, man? So, like I said, we officially have a winner of this division, being the Washington football team. It's dope. We get to see Alex Smith playing another playoff game. And Ron Rivera, man, first year coaching the Washington football team, he get into the playoffs. But yeah, that's all I had about all the games that took place in week 17. Now, with that out the way, we did have a couple of coaching changes. The New York Jets have finally decided to move on from Adam Gase. No shocker there. I think he's like 9-23 with this team since he's been there. That offense has never ranked over 30th, I believe, since he's been there. Who's supposedly the quote unquote offensive genius, or offensive minded, guy. That offense has been absolutely terrible since he's been there. And yeah, I'm pretty sure this guy will not get a job again in the NFL. And if he does, it'll probably be a long time before that happens. Me personally, I don't think he deserves one, because I mean, not only has he, had a terrible offense since he's been there, he hasn't really progressed. Sam Darnold since he's been there, your first round pick, who's I thought was a pretty damn good quarterback, and he's just looked worse and worse under Gase. So the first one they moved, the first coach that I don't know if he was the first, but yeah, one of the coaches to get fired. Doug Marrone was fired from Jacksonville. No surprise there. I thought he would have been fired sometime last year. But with the Jags, with a lot of cap space, draft picks, and things like that moving forward, yes, they probably they restarting it all. They're gonna rebuild. So it makes a lot of sense there. The one that didn't make too much sense to me, and in a way I understand why he was fired, but I do think he kind of deserved one more season, and that's Anthony Lynn. This is the first time he's been there that they actually had a bad season, and they still went 7-9. I will say this: some of Anthony Lynn's coaching decisions in key moments of games were extremely questionable. The Chargers have been dealing with a lot of injuries throughout this season, and I think he did deserve one more year. But I guess, when you look at somebody, when you draft a quarterback and he play as well as they do, and you still go out there and lose those games, you have close games and you don't close them out, I guess that's, calls for, a team to look at you and be like, man, look, we just need somebody to be able to close these games out. And you're just not giving us that opportunity to do that. So it sucks. I actually liked Anthony Lynn as a coach, but I will admit, man, this season he has looked like, I don't know, man. He's been making some very questionable calls. So I'm sure out of all those three, he'll probably get a job. Maybe not next season, but I'm pretty sure he'll get another opportunity to coach in the league sometime soon. So yeah, man. Like I said, that's all the biggest news from there for week 17. On from here, man, we got the playoffs coming up. So we're gonna take a few minutes and talk about that, and we're gonna get out of here. So in the AFC and the NFC. Basically, from the last video, we went over the playoff picture. Nothing has changed. The seeding has stayed the same. In Washington, like I said, they held on to clinch the division. So things they basically remain the same. Everybody's seeded where they were last week. And we moving on into the playoffs, man. We have a big Super Bowl, Jesus Christ. Big wild card weekend, with the added team. So it's 3 games, Saturday and Sunday. And got some pretty damn good matchups, man. But my biggest ones I'm looking forward to is Buffalo against the Colts, because I really want to see how Buffalo look in the playoffs. The Baltimore Ravens taking on the Tennessee Titans, a rematch from last year's divisional round. The Rams and Seahawks, a team that played each other, it's going to be their third time playing each other. I know that's going to be a good matchup, as well as the Browns and Steelers. So just wanted to take that second to say that, man, because we actually have a video coming up for my predictions for the wild card round, and that should be coming out sometime tomorrow. But that's all I got from week 17. Oh, also, the draft orders has officially came out as well. I think from pick 1 to 18. We probably go over that maybe in another video. Not nothing really important to talk about just yet. But yeah, man, that's all I got. Like I said, man, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like. Take a second to hit that subscribe button. We on the road to 100 subscribers. And with that, I'm out. it.